My name is Julianne, and today I want to share my productive morning routine for learning both French and Japanese. I'm currently at N2 level in Japanese and working towards N1. As for French, I started learning it consistently in the past year. In the morning, I try not to check my phone right after waking up. Instead, I make a quick breakfast and a drink, and then I dive into reading rather than scrolling on my phone. I've been getting into the habit of reading in French for a few months now. Recently, I discovered a local library that has a wide selection of children's books, so I borrowed this one. My number one rule for picking a French book is to skim through it first and see if I can understand at least 50% of the content. If it's too difficult, I find it frustrating to read without constantly translating, so I avoid those. I find it very calming to read while having breakfast. This book is full of illustrations, which means I rarely need to pick up my phone to look up words. To give you a quick summary of the book, if you're interested in reading, it's about a kid receiving a call from the Queen and asking him to retrieve stolen items. I'm very good at listening and reading when it comes to learning languages, but I often find myself having a limited vocabulary if I speak or write. Since I'm preparing for the Japanese N1 proficiency test, I've made it a goal to memorize new words every day. I like to study vocabulary throughout the day because more exposure helps me memorize them better. However, I've realized that I remember new words best in the morning, probably because I have more energy. So if you're struggling to learn new vocabulary, try experimenting with different times of the day to see what works for you. The app I'm using is called Anki. It's incredibly helpful, especially for kanji. Most of the time I can guess the meaning of a kanji, but I have no idea how to pronounce it. That's why I set up my flashcards with the kanji on one side and the pronunciation and meaning on the other. I just spent 30 minutes or so trying to memorize vocabs because I have a test coming up and I'm just so stressed. I've been trying to memorize like 50 to 100 words every day for the past 2 weeks, which I don't recommend doing because it just killed so many of my brain cells, and honestly you don't need that many vocabs in order to like understand everything. I've noticed that a lot of the grammar covered at the N1 level tends to be quite formal, which makes it challenging to understand each one of them. Instead of trying to figure out everything on my own, I prefer finding videos that explain the subtle differences, especially between grammar points with similar meanings. Taking notes helps me retain the information better and leaves a stronger impression. Plus, it's much easier to review specific grammar points later, especially when I encounter them in practice questions. For grammar structures I struggle to remember, I like to create my own example sentences or memorize full sentences that use those structures. This method helps me understand how to use them naturally and reinforces the learning process. Lately, I've been focusing more on Japanese, so I ended up losing my streak on Babbel. I definitely need to get back into it. I've shared my experience with Babbel before, and overall I really like how the app is set up. Here I'm just doing some reviews before diving into a new lesson.
Le bureau dans lequel je travaille est petit.